So this story time is a personal favorite of mine for many reasons. One, it's just hilarious. Two, it reminds me of like some of the earlier stories I told in this channel, and it just takes me back to those days. And it's funny, man. It's one of those stories where I'm not the one suffering for once, which kind of, relieves me a bit. And I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do. And before we get into it, I just want to say I dropped a new song. It's called I'm On One. Go check that out. If you like my music, you'll like this song. Anyway, let's do this. So today's story time all starts off back in the year of 9th grade, freshman year. Now this happened pretty early freshman year. I think this was only like 2 or 3 months into the year. And in freshman year, throughout the entirety of high school, we had study hall. And sometimes it'd be at the end of the day, sometimes it would be in the middle of the day, but usually we'd have it at the end of the day. And the cool thing about study hall, at least in my freshman year, was we had a really cool teacher, which means we also had a really fun time every time we had study hall because our teacher was super chill. Some study hall teachers would make you do your homework and make you do your schoolwork and, would kind of, not let you talk to your friends and just, basically really lock in, right? Which is fine, I guess. But our study hall teacher, she kind of treated it as like a chill period for us. So like if you wanted to do homework, you could, or you could just chill. You could have a chill period and just, relax, listen to your music, put your head down, take a nap. She was very cool like that. Now, it doesn't end there. She was also extremely cool because sometimes she'd bring in the TV and let us watch movies or TV. Other times, she'd bring in a big Bluetooth speaker and let kids in the classroom connect to it and play their music. As long as everyone in the class was okay with it, you could play your music on the Bluetooth speaker. And this day, that's what she was doing. So on this day, when I had study hall, she brought in her big Bluetooth speaker, and sometimes she would like pick names out of a hat to get the speaker for that day and play music, or other times you could just volunteer, and as long as your classmates were okay with it, you could do that. And on this day, there was a person in our class, we'll just call him Ethan, okay? Ethan wanted the Bluetooth speaker. He wanted to play his music for the whole class during study hall for the whole hour. And the thing about Ethan was he was a pretty quiet kid, never really bothered anybody, kind of kept to himself. He was always a little bit awkward, and everyone didn't really know much about Ethan. So when Ethan wanted the Bluetooth speaker, we thought, okay, Ethan isn't usually very outgoing, so why don't we give him a chance? Let's let him play his music. Now, literally no one knew what to expect. I remember me and my friends were looking at each other like, I wonder what kind of music Ethan's gonna play. Like, I wonder what he listens to. And we kind of started like taking bets. Like my one friend was like, yo, I bet he loves classic rock. And I was like, nah, man, I bet he loves like some really, really like niche shit, like K-pop or something. And then my one friend was like, nah, man, fuck that. You guys are tripping. He's a hip hop head. He probably likes like old 90s boom bap hip hop. And he starts playing some music, and none of us were even close. This dude proceeds to put on an anime theme song, and I'm not even kidding. It was literally a theme song from an anime. I don't remember which anime it was. My friend knew. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was from some anime, some popular one at the time. And then every song after that Ethan played was from a fucking anime. Like literally my one friend who watches a bunch of anime kept being like, dude, I know this song. Dude, I know this one too. Bro, I know this one. Like he's just playing all these anime songs. I think he only played 2 songs that weren't from an anime, but they were still in Japanese. I believe it was 2 Japanese pop songs. And clearly Ethan loved Japanese music, right? I didn't really care. It's not my kind of music, but like, I don't give a shit. I'm not really a hater of genres of music. You can listen whatever you want. And like some of the songs weren't that bad. Like some of them were pretty catchy, even though I didn't know what they were saying. Like it was still catchy and the melodies were good and it was upbeat and fun. I can't say the same for everybody else in the classroom. There was a lot of people, specifically like the jock type dudes, that were like, yo, Ethan, what the fuck are you playing, bro? Like, what is this bullshit? Like, I didn't know I was watching anime right now. And Ethan just ignored them and kept playing his music and, sticking true to himself, which I respected. But that's not why I'm here telling you this story. Clearly, something has to go wrong, right? It's not a Luna story time unless something goes wrong. And trust me, something goes wrong. So about 80% through class, right? Like we're about to be done. The bell's about to ring probably in about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Ethan gets up and he asks the teacher if he can go to the bathroom. And the bathrooms were right across the hall from our classroom. So he goes in the bathroom, right? And his music continues to play, even though he took his phone with him. So yeah, the connection was still strong enough, even though he was in the bathroom, to have the phone be connected to the speaker and we can hear what he's listening to, right? Well, about 2 or 3 minutes later, the music fades away, like it fades out very fast, and some new audio comes on. This wasn't music. It was like a Japanese girl talking. And she was talking very like enthusiastically, very anime-like, and I'm just like, okay, like maybe he's watching an anime clip or something, maybe he's scrolling Twitter or like Instagram or something and he found like an anime clip. Well, then the talking turns into like noises, and not just any kind of noises. I'm talking like inappropriate noises. I'm talking like moaning noises, like anime girls moaning, and then the sounds of other stuff, and it just got more and more uncomfortable and more crazy as it went on, and it got to the point where my teacher ran over to the speaker and turned the power off on the speaker and was like, okay, we'll get someone else connected to the speaker. Who else wants to play their music? And I raised my hand and I was like, I got it. And she goes, okay, everyone okay with that? And everyone's like, yeah, man, just play anything but that. So I jumped on the speaker. I put on some fucking Chief Keef because, like, I feel like that was a good way to change the, mood after what we all just heard. And I remember for, like, the next 10 minutes, bro, like, everyone in the classroom was just laughing because, like, we couldn't believe that Ethan was in the bathroom watching you-know-what and doing who knows what, right? And finally, after, like, 10 to 15 minutes, Ethan comes back into the classroom and it goes silent. Other than the music playing, but everyone else stops talking and they all stare at him. And I'm trying not to because I don't want to be that guy like looking at him. And Ethan goes, why is everyone staring at me? And this guy in the back of the classroom who hadn't said a fucking word the entire class goes, because you were watching anime girls fuck. And everyone just bursted out into laughter. I can't lie. Like that shit was so like off-putting that like I even cracked a little bit of a smile, bro. I couldn't hold it in. Anyway, after everyone laughed and Ethan looked absolutely mortified, he goes, wait, you guys could hear that? And we're all like, yeah, we could hear it. And he goes, shit, dude, I'm embarrassed. And honestly, man, the way he took it was like pretty good. Like instead of lying and being like, oh, I didn't do anything, you guys are crazy, he was like, ah, shit, I'm embarrassed. It was just funny, man. And we like all kind of laughed about it together and like he was laughing about it. But that didn't mean that it was over. So after everyone kind of had their laughs, the teacher made Ethan stay after class because I'm assuming she was either upset with him or like wanted to tell him like you can't be watching that stuff in school. And yeah, I was being a little bit nosy, so I like hid in one of the doorways to one of the other classrooms that was nearby, and I listened to her talking to Ethan in the hallway after class, and I heard her say, like, you can't be doing that in school, you need to be more cautious of your surroundings, like, you were connected to my speaker, the whole class heard it. And she's basically telling him, like, you gotta stop fucking doing that shit, man. And he was like, I know, I'm sorry. And then she was like, are you okay? Like, do you want to go talk to like the counselor or something? Because she was also concerned that, the whole class kind of clowned on him a little bit, which was valid to be concerned about. And he's like, no, I don't mind. I'm actually like not upset. It's okay. Like it was funny. I can laugh at it, whatever. And she goes, it wasn't funny. And she made like a real serious kind of like tone in her voice, right? And then Ethan's like, all right, well, have a good one. And she goes, you too, Ethan. So after that, I caught up with Ethan in the hallway and I was like, hey man, how'd that talk go? And he's like, yeah, it was a little awkward, but whatever. And then he looks at me and he's like, you're not like mad at me, right? And I was like, no. He's like, do you think the rest of the class is? I'm like, bro, I don't think anyone's mad at you. I think it's just a little bit like funny / awkward. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, I guess you're right. I just like, I don't really talk to people that much. And like, this was my first impression for a lot of people. And now I'm really embarrassed. And I was like, bro, honestly, even though it wasn't a great first impression for some people, I've seen worse. So I think you're fine. And honestly, man, he was fine. The rest of that school year, he was like barely affected by that. Like it got brought up like maybe once or twice more. throughout the next like couple weeks. And like, you know, it was a quick laugh, but that was it. Like no one was really bullying him or like making fun of him that much. But unfortunately, this isn't a completely happy ending. The next day after the incident occurred, we came into study hall and our Bluetooth speaker was gone. She said that there was going to be no more Bluetooth speaker for the rest of the year because she can't trust us. So unfortunately, Ethan's rated R anime addiction, it ruined it for the rest of the class, but whatever. We still got to watch movies a lot. We could listen to our own music in our headphones, and study hall was still great, so I'm not too upset. Moral of the story is, wait till you're home to do that. If you're in school, just wait till you're home. And then number 2, if you're connected to somebody's Bluetooth speaker, make sure you disconnect before going into another room and playing audio off your phone of any kind, because you might end up playing something you don't want other people to hear. But yeah, guys, that is the story of Ethan and his interesting video choices in the school bathroom. I don't want to know what he was doing in there, man. I don't want to know. But yeah, guys, I thought this was pretty funny, and I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.